Hey friends, welcome back to a new episode of The Life of a Makeup Artist. You know, all of our guests are special, but today I am particularly excited for this guest, not because of their sickening client list and their, exceptional talent, but who you are as a person. Marcelo, how are you?
I'm good, baby. How are you?
I'm so excited.
It's so good to see you.
How are you? How's life before we get into everything?
Life's good. I was just having this conversation last night. It feels like really stable. Feels like really, there's like a calmness to life right now that I don't think I've experienced in my life. And I think I'm like really, I think as a creative, sometimes we like chase like a lot of feelings.
The next thing and
the next thing and the next thing, or like feeling high, low, everything. And I think right now I'm like really enjoying calm. And like, 'cause sometimes as creatives we confuse like inspiration for chaos or chaos as inspiration.
Right.
And I'm just finding like the joy in serenity. So yeah, life's good. I'm just kind of, and I'm growing too, I'm like adulting.
Right.
Yeah.
I love this for you.
I know, it's good.
Well, I would love to have you introduce yourself, if that's okay, to your new friends.
Sure. So my name is Marcelo Gutierrez. I am a makeup artist, a writer, a son, a best friend, and just like an overall, I think I would consider myself like a poet, a poetic person, someone who's just, navigating the world, and makeup is my main form of expression, and mostly in fashion with some incredible singers, some amazing actresses, and yeah.
Well, before that, of course, I did my research.
Yeah.
You were steaming on set.
That's right.
Yeah, you were working, you did a little bit of restaurants.
Yes.
Some housekeeping.
I was a maid for 2 years.
Really?
In New York, yeah, which is very made in Manhattan. And yeah, it's like one of those New York experiences where it's like, of course, of course in New York you're a maid for 2 years. And
right. But how did that go? Like, were you always in New York, or you moved from, where did you move from?
I moved from San Francisco to New York when I was 20.
Okay.
So I was in the middle of college, of art school, and I was studying painting, performance art, and filmmaking. But I'm a much better student of things when I'm thrown into them.
Right.
So I learn from life.
Right.
Rather than like sitting in a classroom.
Right.
And so I kind of left school and just moved to New York when I was 20, and I didn't know a single person. I had no money, no connections to anything, but what I had was the internet.
Right.
And social media.
Right.
And just like that kind of crazy ambition you have when you're 20.
Right.
And
you're hungry. You're
hungry and you're unstoppable.
Yep.
Yeah, no one can stop you. And I always told myself, I was like, if anything goes wrong, like, how bad can it get? I'm in New York City. I'm young and I'm able and I'm healthy. Like, just go.
So you were, doing all the odd jobs and things, but how do you just end up on set? Because you don't just get on set.
I know. I mean, I started to kind of like find my way on set through, when I moved to New York, I knew that it's a tight space to get into, the art, fashion world. And I started to just go to like every event I could.
Right.
I was like, and I didn't know anybody, but I was just going, seeing, exposing myself, and just started to make friends naturally, and had a couple people in my early life here that supported me. And I had a friend who was a stylist, and they were styling for Gap. And I needed a job. And so I was just like there steaming clothes and made up for that time, made $350 that day. And when you're 20,
you're like, yes,
I'm like,
bitch.
oh my God, I'm rich. And it's amazing. And you were getting fed. And I was like, this is amazing. And so I saw.
You walk in and there's a table
There's
of
a whole
food.
table of food. And I was like, wow, this is it.
Right.
And then, but then I saw the makeup artist on set, and I was like, wait a minute. I love makeup. I've always loved fashion. I come from a painting background.
Right.
And I love the performance element of makeup. And I was like, hold on. If I can do makeup, I can figure this out.
Right.
And I'm sure this makeup artist is making a decent living.
Right.
And, the reality is like being the what do they call it? Like the starving artist.
Right.
It's not romantic.
Yeah.
It's not like the way
You're
we
literally
read
starving.
about it.
Yeah.
You're literally starving. It's not cute.
Right.
It's rough.
Right.
And I just was like, I don't want that for myself. I can find poetry and other things.
Right.
And so then when I saw that makeup artist, I was like, hold on, I'm gonna start kind of to dabble in this.
Right.
And then I started to take it really seriously after Dame Pat McGrath found me on Instagram.
This was my next question because I know you got busy on social.
Yeah.
You started to DM a lot of people.
Yeah.
But this was not a DM that you sent.
No, never.
Well, why?
I mean, I was going out clubbing and like doing my makeup and just sharing it online. And then I remember tagging Pat because she had just launched her brand.
Right.
And she had that one gold foil that was so
good.
beautiful. And like, I think I still have it somewhere in my storage. And I did a look with it and I tagged her, and then she replied and her team replied and she was like, darling, like, I love what you're doing. Did
you not pass out?
I screenshotted it like 4 times. I was like, because of course I knew who she was. And I was like, are you kidding me? And at this time I hadn't taken being a makeup artist seriously.
Right. She like, how the F did I even?
How did she, also, how does she see, like she saw something in me that I hadn't seen yet in myself.
Yep.
And, she's a visionary and she can see things.
Right.
And so, she flew me out to LA, stayed in a hotel, and me and a couple other makeup artists and her team, we had all brunch together.
Right.
And she's been so generous ever since. And I see her here and there, and she's just constantly like, I'm so proud of you.
Right.
And
that's so sweet. But what was the feelings that you had while being in LA? Because now you're surrounded by all these other makeup artists. And I had a meeting with her, and it's like a bunch of people.
Totally.
I mean, brunch is different, but you're still like gonna feel like you're gonna yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird because I wasn't a makeup artist, like, and I was with a bunch of like working makeup artists, and I just had like this tiny little like kit that I had been like putting together through drugstore makeup, and I felt kind of like imposter syndrome, but I knew that I was there for a reason, and she saw something in me, and all I had to do was do what I was there to do, which was my best.
Because you did a show.
I did a show.
That was your first show?
That was my first show. It was Tommy Hilfiger in LA.
I would have gone to the bathroom and wait.
It was when, it was like Tommy Hilfiger, like it was on the boardwalk or something.
Okay, yeah.
And
I'm like, how do we miss? I'm trying to figure out how we missed each other.
I mean, I don't think I was trying to be like
on the team, but like,
I mean, I was
trying to figure out what year, because I mean, I don't know, because I was on the team for a little bit. Maybe
you were there, and I just wasn't socializing. I was so nervous.
No, I wasn't there at that particular show, but just in general. You know? But then how did the show go? Did you like?
It was amazing. Like I did my girl, and I love doing skin, and it was a really clean skin moment. And you take them up to Pat, and she takes a look, and she was like, "It's perfect." There was like no revisions, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Listen, so for our listeners, when you do makeup backstage, you have to do the makeup and carry it to the key for her to edit. Mm-hmm. And basically you sometimes say, yeah, no revisions, like, but then sometimes it's like, fix this, fix that, and it's like, it's so heart-wrenching. It's like,
and because it's in public too, and it's like
so many people are around looking.
So many people are around, and getting your critique and vocally can be difficult.
Yeah, but that's a big deal because you were thrown into this thing, and then you're like, she's like, no edits. That must be very validating.
Very validating. I was like, okay, you know what? Like, and then after that moment, I was like, I'm gonna take this so seriously, and I'm gonna make it into my journey. It's my career, because what I really set out to do, and still see it this way, is makeup is my vehicle into getting my creative point across, and it'll also be my way back into film, into writing, and fashion is such a collaborative experience, and creating images that like the beautiful thing about it is that now I've made all these relationships with these incredible artists, photographers, set designers, stylists, hairstylists, other makeup artists, that now if I and when I want to kind of produce bigger projects for myself, I have this community. And a creative and artistic life is never linear. Like you kind of have to just pick up the clues. And this was a moment where like the universe and whoever, whatever, was just like, look, take it.
Yeah, just do it.
Do it. What you'd be stupid to not run with this. And I enjoy it. I love it. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't stay long on the team. You were like, that's cute.
Yeah, I didn't.
I gotta go. So
yeah, I mean, I definitely noticed like the commitment that went into being on Pat's team, and you
got to be ready to go to Nice in
everywhere.
2 seconds.
Yeah, everywhere.
That happened to me once. I was
It's a commitment, and I was also kind of lightly assisting other people, but I think because of my background in fine art, I didn't want to assist too heavily because I really wanted to shape my relationship to makeup as genuinely through my lens as possible. I assisted enough to learn etiquette. Like the etiquette on set, which you don't know what that is until you learn it on set. And I think that's the most important thing because 50% of our job is social. Like being social and how you hold yourself on set and how you can, we have to be so sensitive to everybody's energy. And the better you are at reading that and reading the room and reading everyone, the better and further you'll go, I think.
What else did you feel like you learned from the time that you spent with Pat?
Oh, God, I really learned her leadership skills. I think the way she kind of allocates certain like skills with different.
It's a well-run machine back there.
It's incredible, and like
even the way the kit is set up.
It's incredible, and it's like the way she knows like this artist is really good at this, and this artist is really good at that. Sometimes with my assistants on shows or on certain shoots, like I know this one assistant is incredible at liner, and I'm not like that person who's going to be there for 3 hours doing a clean line. Like I just can't. And I'm like, you're really good at that, so we'll tag team this like concept together. And that's really what a team is, you know? It's like you're not going to be 100 at everything. But if everyone can come together to create a moment that's really beautiful, that's really where the magic happens. Yeah.
And so now when you are on set, do you find that you pull, like basically you kind of pull from everything that you've learned on your time from your time with Pat?
Yeah, I'm always pulling from. I think I'm always pulling from just like, I mean, it's Pat, so what's kind of beautiful about her work and her body of work is that she has this range that she can go so extreme, or she can just keep it raw. And I think that's what makes a really great makeup artist. Is knowing when is the right time to be loud. It's like going in and always trying to get your point across is not the point.
Like it's makeup. I need to make
I need
it makeup.
To do something makeup. No, that's not the point. Maybe it's just like putting moisturizer on them.
That's
Maybe
true.
it's just lotioning their body. And that if that's what makes the image beautiful, then that's all then you're such a good makeup artist for knowing all you need to do is put lip balm on. It goes the same way with painting. You have to measure how heavy your hand is. Know when to stop drawing. Know when to stop painting before you fuck it up. Can we?
Of course.
Okay.
Please. So I have a question though. You must have a lot of balls because you have this huge opportunity. You're getting paid, you have an assistant rate, but now you're like, I don't want to do that. True. So that takes a lot because a lot of people end up staying as assistants because it's consistent money. You're always getting reached out, but you were like, no. So what did you do in that time to sustain yourself? Did you go back to doing other jobs? Like, what did you do?
I was working two restaurant jobs part-time, and I was just kind of always shuffling around my schedule so that like whenever a job came in for makeup, I could take it. And it just, I just was sustaining myself at restaurants. And then as my schedule got busier with makeup and I could no longer just keep asking for days off because it's also
they're like, you're fired.
they're like, babe, we can't keep accommodating for you. I one day was like, my first celebrity client was Tinashe, and she requested me for all of Fashion Week.
Oh wow.
And I had never kind of had that like booking for a week. And I was like, well, shit, like I can't book out of work for a week.
Right.
And I was just like,
I guess I gotta go.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
And so I remember calling my parents and I'm like, I think I'm gonna quit my job and just like go for it. And so I quit and did the Fashion Week. And as you know, like you don't always get paid on time.
Right.
Or, it's getting paid in this
6
job
months
is,
later.
yeah, it's like not a consistent check.
Right.
And so I think I had like $15 for like 2 months and just kept like asking my parents for like $50 or like just something because they don't come from money. We don't come from money. But I was like, I have $15 and I'm really trying to make this stretch. I know I'm going to get paid.
Right.
But because I quit my job cold turkey.
Right.
And just decided I'm going to be a makeup artist. It was a huge risk.
Right.
But sometimes things don't pay off unless you take a risk.
Yeah. I believe that.
Yeah. You have to just jump sometimes. And it's scary. I can't believe I did that. But you know what it is? I think when you've been at a place where you have nothing to lose.
Right.
And you build from that.
Right.
You're never afraid of having to start over either.
Right, because you know what it's like.
Babe, if I had to start over tomorrow, I'd be like, okay,
I could do it.
Let's start over tomorrow.
Yeah,
I've done this.
Yeah,
and that's confidence. That builds confidence.
Right,
and that gives you balls.
Yeah,
because you're like, what? I know what I'm doing.
Right, exactly. Okay, so, I was doing like a little bit of research and I love that you said this because I somewhat agree. Because, I'm a clean beauty girl, but you mentioned that beauty right now is playing it safe.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the beauty industry plays it safe. Can you expound on that?
Yeah, actually, I mean, it's funny. I feel like maybe when I said that, it was. Now I kind of feel the opposite.
Really?
Yeah. I actually feel like, I'm the kind of person where like if everybody's into one thing, I'm just going to look at the other thing.
Right.
Like or like everybody's watching that show. I'm not going to watch that show until like
I'm ready.
3 years later.
Right.
Yeah. I can't. And I think right now, actually, everybody's obsessed with makeup.
Right.
And even in fashion and editorials and covers and mind you, some of like, the bigger covers are usually like just clean faces. Right. But that has a more commercial agenda. Mm-hmm. But I think right now makeup is really loud.
Yeah.
It's really, really loud and like
pushing the boundaries
and it's very drag.
Right.
I think what's interesting is seeing drag become so mainstream.
Right. Normalized.
And a lot of those techniques are now kind of meeting like normal day girl makeup. And then meeting, the girls are looking like drag queens. And it's meeting also fashion.
Right.
And so it's a lot of makeup. And I think I'm wondering why. Like
what's happening?
Yeah, it's like it's like when someone's in the room and they're just loud. Right. I'm like, I just get quiet.
Why does it have to be that way?
Yeah, I just get quiet. And so right now I'm really
are you pulling back?
Yeah, I'm like really kind of like interested in like nuanced makeup, like the details and subtlety, in maybe just the changes in skin, or just raw, or a little bit more less glam, more rock and roll, something that doesn't feel so forced and less like makeup, because it's such a thing now. And I'm like, let's just be ugly,
yeah,
and it's kind of always loved that, I've always loved a bit of what do you call a ripped jean, a cut sleeve. Like, I think it tells a story.
Right. I think I love that because
there's a place for glam, though.
Yeah, there's a place. Obviously, there's a place for glam, and of course, your clients might want that. But I do love that because sometimes it's just like you end up becoming a carbon copy of whatever is happening on
Totally.
social, and then you are watching everybody's stuff, and then you regurgitate it, not even sometimes
Intentionally or not.
intentionally,
Yeah.
you know? So I love that. So I have a question though. Like, I know when so I didn't share this in the beginning, but you and I met on set, Marcelo and I met on set for a Mac job. And that's
Yeah.
the first time we saw each other.
Yeah.
And I don't know, we just clicked.
We clicked.
You were like, you're cute. And I'm like,
Yeah,
you're cute.
we had a vibe.
Yeah, it was a vibe. And, you know, we were talking at the Shiseido dinner a while back, and you were just saying, like, you know, sometimes you delete Instagram off your phone, or you don't try to consume too much media. And I actually want to talk about that, because I think sometimes, like, we get caught up on not only what other people are doing, but just, like, different styles, and we tend to lose ourselves in that. Can you touch on that?
Oh, my God, yeah. I mean, and, like, I delete Instagram off my phone probably like for 2 days straight, like every week. Like
Right.
I'll just take it off. I'll download it, post what I need to post, catch up what I need to see, and then I take it, delete it off immediately. I usually don't have it on my phone, to be honest. I just do it when I want to feel like sharing something,
Right.
and when I like miss.
Right.
You know, the community.
Right.
But I do find it to be kind of like a triggering space. Like
It is.
It's you know, this job in this field, while it's really beautiful and you form these communities of relationships, you know, I've made so many incredible friends and collaborators through this journey as a makeup artist. But it's also a really competitive industry. Right. And it's a small room. It's a small room that a lot of people are trying to get into. And creatively, especially when makeup is so desired right now, my priority is staying true to myself,
right,
and to what I'm inspired by. And so any makeup artist that I follow on Instagram, I mute them. I'm sorry. I mute them.
Bye.
I love them, but I mute them. I just don't need to see like the constant feed.
Right.
I will see your work in the magazine.
Right.
And I will see it, I'm sure,
right,
through the photographer or whatever.
Right.
But I just don't need to be seeing everybody's work constantly.
Right.
Unless I look for it.
Right.
And it also, yeah, it's like just boundaries.
Right.
It's like we just assume now with social media and Instagram that
right,
we're supposed to see everything. And
right. And if you don't interact with me, you're a hater. And it's just like, I need to protect my mental peace.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Like that's the only way, especially like, you know, like the more, you know, high profile jobs you do or clients you work with, like sometimes your profile becomes more visible, and
right,
I get anxiety.
Right.
I get anxiety posting something.
Right.
I get anxiety, like I'll post like a picture of myself or anything really, and on my stories, and I will probably take it down in 30 minutes.
Why?
I get anxiety.
Really?
I just get anxiety about like perception sometimes. But whatever.
Yeah, but
I also just have a good time with it.
Yeah. No, I'm honestly, I had this experience because, you know, I do a lot of social media and content and stuff. And last November, I had to mute a lot of people because it was just like you come online and it's almost like you wake up and you're walking into a room full of people. It's a very uncomfortable feeling. And when I tell you,
Completely. I'm already like...
Yeah, I'm like, but now, like, I did that last November. And when I tell you, I just became so much more inspired. I had so much more ideas.
Yeah.
And, like, I started to grow and I started to feel just, like, in a different space. So, I know what you mean.
You're just able to, like... You know, our phones take us out of the present.
Right.
And I think I love to daydream. I love to just like wander. I love to do nothing.
Right.
Like that is how I like navigate my like my time. My brain.
I do nothing.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not that I'm not doing nothing.
Yeah.
But like I like
just chill,
letting my brain
relax,
be in its own space.
Yeah.
And with Instagram, it's like,
yeah. And then you get into this continuous cycle of comparison where you're like, why I was on hold for that job. I didn't like, how come they got that? And it's just like, it's natural
and it's
for it
really
to happen.
natural.
But you don't want that to be happening every day.
No,
you know?
It's unhealthy.
Yeah.
Because what's yours is yours.
Yeah.
That's what I always remember.
So do you like, what is your, like, do you do like affirmations? Are you into like, you know, a lot of artists kind of struggle with their self-work and like, how do you center yourself? Like you say you like to just let your brain be, but what do you do when you have those type of like thoughts?
Those moments?
Yeah, those moments.
And everyone has those moments. And luckily I have like a community of close friends within the industry where we can kind of like touch base with each other and be like, how are you?
Right.
How are you doing?
Right.
Which is important.
Right.
Because, you know, it's like my parents don't really understand how this works.
Right.
So I can't like always like go to them and like vent. They're like, I don't know what you do.
They were like, you're on hold and then you got released. What?
Yeah, they're like, I'm working every day.
Right.
What are you talking about? But I don't do affirmations. I probably should. But what keeps me kind of whole and grounded are my friends.
That's nice.
Yeah, is like just like being around people that love me and that I love and being reminded of what really matters. Right. Which is friendship, family, love, fun.
Right.
Enjoying life. Like I'm always reminding, I love to go out. I love to go out to dinner, dance. I love to be travel. Yeah, we love to dance.
We love to dance.
And like those things remind me what's important in life, which is just living.
Right. So when you are at home, right, how do you find like calmness and zen? Do you like binge Netflix shows? Do you read? Do you smoke?
Will. I'll usually like, depending if I'm feeling a little anxious or I'm like overthinking anything in my life, I'll probably go home, nibble on a little edible and like have dinner, watch a movie and just kind of slowly find my way back to bed.
Yeah.
And sleep and relax. I'll go to the gym. The gym is like very much has become like kind of like therapeutic for me. It just like relieves a lot of anxiety. And stress. Right. I think those two are my thing. Just sitting home and watching movies. Like I'll have my comfort movies, you know, like Bridesmaids.
Are there any shows that you're watching right now?
I just finished Love and Death.
Oh, I didn't
on HBO with Elizabeth Olsen, and it's like about this woman who in the 70s, based on a true story, has an affair with a man, and they both have their separate families. Spoiler, she chops his husband's wife.
So we'll put it on the watch list.
Yes, it's good.
We'll put it on the watch list.
I already spoiled it, but whatever.
No, it's fine.
It's a real story.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so have you ever had a moment where you felt like you weren't happy with your makeup? Because there are always times where you're like, damn, I should have did a little
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or I should have fucking blend that thing. Like,
yes.
Like.
I'm trying to think. Yeah. There's always... I can always do better. Yeah. Whenever, especially, I feel like working, you know, when it's editorial and creative, you just let it go. Right. You know, because it's supposed to be more expressive. Right. My work isn't like super, like, I don't do like crazy, like detailed eyes or anything like. So I'm not like looking for that perfectionism. Right. But what I've learned, when I learn the most is probably when I do a red carpet. And that's been incredible because every red carpet, I look at the photos, what it looks like.
So hot.
You really see what the hell you did. Right. And because those flashes don't lie. Right. Maybe you didn't put enough makeup on. Right. Maybe you made them too light. Maybe you need to. And I'm constantly learning how to really make someone look excellent in those like harsh lights. Right. So I'm always learning from that. Right. And
I mean, that's the best place to learn because it's so unforgiving.
It really is, yeah. And it's fun. I love it because there's always something to learn. And honestly, YouTube, I'm always on YouTube, like watching some YouTubers and just learning some weird tricks or new products coming out. Right. And it's fun. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so let's talk about some products.
Okay.
Because I remember we were talking about the Chanel foundation.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I don't really like it. Do you know I'm almost finished with it?
Oh, my God.
I bought it. It's so good.
So beautiful, right?
So we're talking about the Water Fresh foundation from Chanel.
The one with like the really interesting texture.
Like the, it looks like beads or whatever. But tell me about like maybe some maybe your top 5 products. Like if you don't have this in your kit,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna low-key freak out.
Yeah. Oh man. If I don't have color correctors in my kit,
Which ones do you use?
I like the Bobbi Brown ones. They're like
Oh,
the
and the
sticks.
sticks, yep.
Yeah, it's like a little lipstick. I need a color corrector. What else?
Have you tried the ones from Mac Pro from Paris?
I love those.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I use those.
If I don't have that entire range in my
The
kit,
big one?
the little square ones?
Yeah.
I have them all
Yeah.
in my kit. Like I could do everything with that.
Yeah.
Those are one of those things where I'm like, I will never not have those in my kit because you can do those. Okay, so those Mac Pro concealer kits.
Oh, we are talking about MAQ or MAC?
Oh, MAC.
Yeah, okay, you're talking about so we're talking about the MAC Cosmetics color corrector palette.
Yeah.
I was talking about the MAC Pro, the French brand.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. But it's okay. I love the MAC ones.
Yeah.
So, okay, next product.
What else? I've honestly really the Lisa Eldridge illuminator.
She has some really good products.
Wow, like honestly, that one always has to be in my kit because no matter how full glam we're going or how light, that illuminating product that she's created is stunning. And what's beautiful about it is that you can put it under makeup or put it over on top, even on top of powder, and it doesn't change anything. So that's beautiful. And then let me see. I'm always
give us a drugstore something for the girls.
Drugstore. Drugstore. Oh, the Elf putty primer.
Really?
The matte,
you like it?
The matte putty primer thing.
I have it. I don't think I've used it on myself.
I have the matte one in my kit, and the Elf sponges. I only use the Elf sponges.
Really?
Yeah.
You know they have new ones, right? They have different sizes.
They have different sizes. Yeah. I use like the normal,
regular one.
Yeah.
What's so great about it?
They're really soft.
Oh, nice.
They're really soft, but not too soft.
Right.
And they just do the job.
Right.
I love Elf.
Yeah.
And
they have those freaking bite-sized palettes. I'm obsessed.
Yeah. But their matte primer I really like because sometimes those like
the nose.
Sometimes those like mattifying products can like get kind of pilly.
Yeah.
And too drying.
Right.
And this has a nice texture.
Right. What's one thing that you like to do to prep the skin on set? I know for, in fashion, you got to do the massage and like, is there anything that is like signature to Marcelo?
Skin prep is everything for me. My assistants now, like my makeup only looks the way it looks because of skin prep. And and my makeup lasts like throughout the day. Like it doesn't crumble. Like, and I completely correlate that to skin prep.
Yeah.
It's Bioderma micellar water, Laneige lip balm, lip sleeping mask, and then I'll do an essence on the skin, like a liquid essence, so that it's nice and wet before I put in the moisturizer.
Right.
And I like a really rich cream, no matter what skin type you have. And then I'll go in with a little bit of mattifying, illumination.
Do you ever use primers for a red carpet? Or you just skin prep?
It's just skin prep, and then I might use kind of a mattifying just by where they get shiny. But I don't use primers. It's just skin prep.
Yeah, most makeup artists are like, I don't really use primers as much. If you take your time with skin prep.
If you really take your time taking care of the skin, you'll be okay.
Yeah,
and just like being sensitive about how much product you put where.
Right. Yeah. So you have done everything from the Met Gala, Vogue, tons of celebrity clients. What is one thing that you have not done? And it doesn't have to be a specific like client or publication, but what's one thing that you haven't done that you're looking forward to?
I would love to do makeup for like an opera.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That would be amazing. I love theater. It's very dramatic. I think to direct the beauty for an opera would be really beautiful. I would love to, what else haven't I done? There's certain actresses that that are my muses that I would really love to work with.
Right.
Whenever.
Right. Call him right now.
I know. And, there's a lot of photographers that I admire a lot.
Right.
That I've followed forever that I would love the opportunity to work with, and certain brands that I just like, that I identify with, that I would love to work with. There's so much. The thing about being an artist is that like you're never satisfied.
Yeah. And it's always evolving. And that annoying question is like you do something huge and everybody's like, so what's next?
Exactly.
I'm like, can I just relish in this moment?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. But that's kind of the beauty of, I think that's what keeps you young, is like wanting more.
Yeah.
And like constantly trying to learn, and like being a student always. Like I'm always learning, and I'm always putting myself in situations that I'm not like the pro at.
Right, you're uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think being uncomfortable is probably the best thing you could do for yourself as an artist.
Right. So being uncomfortable is important. What other advice you would give other makeup artists that are trying to like find their way and their, just come up in the industry? What advice would you give to them?
I would say get off Instagram.
And TikTok.
Well, yeah. I don't even have a TikTok. That sounds too much. Yeah, I would be on there like crazy. I would say use Instagram for exactly what it's for, which is an incredible resource of community. And get off of it and look into the stories that. What movies do you watch, and what are your favorite movies?
Right.
Why do those movies resonate with you?
Right.
What stories do you want to tell with your work?
Right.
And which photographers, which stylists do you relate to, and that could help you create that world and tell a story? Because like it is really important for me to work with people that feel like they also feed the kind of message I want to get across as a makeup artist.
Right.
Like, I don't want to just be a brush,
that
like a tool that shows up on set. Like I want to.
So do you say no to a lot of jobs?
A lot, yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah, because it has to really resonate with me.
Right.
I would rather, obviously there's like the commercial jobs, and you got to pay the bills.
Right.
And I enjoy like living a certain way, and I like growth, but creatively I say no to a lot of things. Because they have to make sense.
Right.
And I would rather be off than
doing something that you don't want to do. Because then you hate yourself, and then you're like, I shouldn't have done this.
And I hate forcing something.
Right.
And, especially with beauty stories, I'm always like, but why?
Right.
Why are we doing this?
Right.
Why? What is the purpose of this?
Right.
Like, I love making an image rather than like a beauty image.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I love that. So you tell artists, get off Instagram and make sure you are uncomfortable. You're not the smartest person in the room or the best artist.
Yeah, be okay always learning and focus on like what really resonates with you and feels honest to you, because that's as original as you'll get.
Right.
Everything's been done, but if you're just yourself, there's only one of you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And okay, so our business is so much, like you mentioned earlier, social, but it's also very much like business, like agents and all these different things.
Right.
How did you decide on what agency? Because I'm sure you have all these people probably like, come here, no, come here, no, come here. Like, how did you decide where to go?
I took my time. Because, depending on the agency you go to, it can dictate which way your career goes. You know, certain agencies like to focus on pushing artists in specific directions. Some agencies are known for like Hollywood celebrity clients. Some agencies are known for their work in fashion, editorial, creative direction. And for me, it was important to find an agency that respected me from the beginning and didn't kind of patronize me for being
like, you need us.
Yeah, like, no, like you need me.
Right.
Like, I'm the artist.
Right.
This is a partnership.
Right.
You're going to be taking my money. So this has to be
Exactly.
This
It has to make sense.
It has to make sense, and you have to connect with the actual agent.
Yeah, because most of the time I tell people this all the time. It's more so the agent as opposed. Of course, the
Completely.
agency matters, but
Yeah.
you could be at the best agency and not have a good agent. And
Yeah,
it
your
doesn't
agent
mean
could not care
mean
about
anything.
you, and
Yeah.
it's not going to work out.
Yeah.
And you have to really vibe with your agent. So I took my time finding my agency, and now landed at Brian Artists, and I'm super happy there. And like I feel my agent Lucy, she's amazing. She, they really listen to me,
Yeah.
and they respect the things that make me me, and
Right.
the kind of the aggressive nature of my makeup sometimes.
Right.
But also can be beautiful. It's like the
Right.
nuances to me.
Right.
And they'll also like advise me, and they'll be like, they'll check me too. They're like, no, we can't do that. And I'll be like, why? And they'll explain.
Right.
And all I needed was the explanation.
Right.
But it's like, that's how you learn together.
Right.
And, they've been doing this longer, and they have their knowledge, and I have my creative agenda.
Right.
And
And
when-
you could lean on that. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I would say to any artist, like, just take your time finding an agency. There's no rush. Especially nowadays, like, you can take your time, and because you don't want to get in a situation where you feel I've been in a situation where the agency just like did not appreciate me,
Right.
or tried to change me.
Right.
You need to like, your Instagram needs to look different. You need to behave differently, look differently. And
What?
I'm yeah. And I'm like, babe, I'm the artist, first
Right.
of all. Like, I am who I am.
Right.
What was that? Nicki Minaj. She was like, I am who I am because I am who I am, or something
right.
like that.
Right.
And I'm like, exactly. Like,
Barb.
I am. Yeah. Barb. Yeah. I'm like, I've gotten to where I am because of who I am.
Right.
So I will grow and evolve,
Right.
but don't tell me to change.
Right. And I love that because I think a lot of artists can take so much from what you just said, because you kind of have to have confidence. Even if you're coming up, you kind of
Yeah.
have to be confident in who you
Yeah.
are.
It's a little
because
bit
this
of-
industry, you gotta
Yeah.
be malleable, but still be able to.
You have to be able to know where your boundaries are.
Yeah, exactly.
And if somebody, in that situation, they were asking me to change, that's a boundary.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No.
I'm not doing the
Full
glam
chop. Yeah,
LA
like
thing.
yeah, like I'm weird on Instagram sometimes. I'm
Right.
like I'm all over the place, but it's my
Right.
space to like also invite. I think as makeup not traditionally we fall back
Right.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And we're kind of sometimes expected to just be like quiet
Right.
and like not really make any noise.
Right.
And it's true. Like
Yeah.
our job on set is to facilitate a bigger vision.
Right.
So you shouldn't try and be like the star.
Right.
But on social media, if you
This
feel
is my space.
if you feel
I could be who I want to be.
Exactly. If you feel comfortable inviting people into your perspective, then share it.
Right.
Like I think I'm an artist, and I want to be seen as an artist, not as a tool.
Right. You're
Yeah.
sensitive about your shit.
Exactly. Sensitive. So sensitive.
Well, thank you so much. We had such a good time.
Rita, thank you for having me.
Of course, but we have one more thing to do.
Okay. What?
So we're gonna play a game.
Okay.
Are you down?
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
Okay. So it's called Beauty Card Revoked.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you 5 questions.
Okay, I'm so excited.
And you have to get at least 3 right to keep your beauty card.
Okay. Okay. Oh my God.
If you don't get it right, your beauty card will be revoked. I'm so sorry.
Oh shit.
Okay. Are you ready? So this is yours. This is your beauty card.
Okay, can I look at it?
Yeah, just hold it.
Oh,
I
it's
have
just-
the
oh,
questions.
got it,
It's just
got
a
it.
beauty
Oh,
card.
okay.
Okay. All right. So are you ready?
Yeah.
Named Girl with Balloon before it was partially shredded at a 2018 auction. Love is in the Bin is an artwork that sold for $25.4 million in 2021. What was the name of the artist?
Banksy.
Yes! I have to give you the...
I knew it. I
Okay,
knew
I love
it.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the American Gothic is one of the most recognizable paintings in the world.
Right.
Who painted it?
Mm.
Was it Michelangelo? Was it Grant Wood? Or was it Lisa Williams?
None of the above. Or
It was Grant Wood.
it was grand? Okay.
I'm
damn.
so sorry.
It's okay. Okay, we
Okay,
have
so
time.
next question. White light is made up of one color. Is this true or false?
White light.
White light is made up of one color. Is that true or false?
False.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. White light is made up of red, orange, yellow, blue, green, indigo, and violet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you think of like a prism,
It's
when the light goes through it, it's still white, but
Yep.
she's colorful.
Okay, look at you, beauty
Yeah.
card. Okay. All right, next question. Which makeup artist was awarded an MBE in the Queen's Birthday Honors List of 2018 for her services to the beauty and cosmetic industry? Was it Lisa Elrich? Was it Charlotte Tilbury? Or was it Pat McGrath?
Damn, 2018. I want to say that was Pat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, last question.
I'm doing good.
And I mean, as a former, you're a former art student. So this former fine art student started Makeup Forever in 1984. Is it Allison Grant? Is it Danny Sands? Or is it Danielle Williams?
Oh my God.
This former fine art student started Makeup Forever in 1984. Is it Allison Grant, Danny Williams, or what am I saying? I'm going to say that over. This former fine art student started Makeup Forever in 1984. Was it Allison Grant, Danny Sands, or Danielle Williams?
I'm going to go with Danielle Williams.
No! It's Danny Sands.
Oh my God.
But you still get to keep your beauty card.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, that was
Congrats!
fun.
You know your shit.
I
Except
did.
the last one.
Except for the last one. That was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you
You
for
know your
having
shit.
me.
Congrats. You are part of our,
Honorary.
Yes, honorary. I don't know.
Gang.
Know your shit gang.
Yeah.
Okay, so Marcelo, we had so much fun on the podcast. Thank you so much for making time. Like, you're such a beautiful person. Like, I'm so happy for
and
you.
thank you. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank
how
you.
you've expanded like your career as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, and all the channels you get into. Like, that's also an example of listening to yourself and what's true to you. And like, she's such an incredible speaker and listener. And that's like,
you.
that would have been such a talent lost if it was just behind the scenes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I know that day we were on set and we were in the booth. I was like, again, let's do it again.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did you ever get to see it in Paris? Because it was up in
I think I saw it, yeah.
You were in Paris? I didn't get to see
no,
it.
I wasn't in Paris, but people sent me pictures.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
I know.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, so can you tell your new friends
Yes.
how to, when you do have Instagram on your phone, how
Right.
to connect with you and, check out all your work?
So you can follow me at Marcelo Gutierrez. That's MarceloGutierrez.
Don't worry, we'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
We'll put it in the
It's
show
giving Disney
notes.
Channel. Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget, we are on TikTok and YouTube if you want to see the visual version of this episode. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye.